Right. Update to last week's Doctor Who backlash. So last week, if you're just joining us for this episode, last week we talked about the backlash against the announcing of what's her name, Jodie Whittaker being the new incarnation of the Doctor on a show that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Former showrunner Stephen Moffat commented this week on the backlash to the new female Doctor Who. Moffat is quoted saying, "Loads of journalists are writing about a completely imaginary backlash against the Doctor. It hasn't happened. There has been nothing. Only a few tiny made people somewhere. The amount of journalism being devoted to saying there's been a huge reaction, there hasn't been." Despite this claim, RNN has dug through scores of comments across the internet and found no less than 30 mean
Yeah, no less than 30.
No less than 30. Our research has further proved Stephen Moffat is a white supremacist, misogynist, MGTOW homophobe. More details as the story develops.
Yeah, I guess Stephen Moffat is a huge white supremacist now because he's disagreeing with this narrative. But, I think the point stands because I got into a fucking argument with some idiot on Reddit about this, saying that I didn't think anybody cared. It's not a big deal. Like, I haven't seen any of the comments. And he's like, well, he pointed out, he's like, well, you could just go look at this BBC articles. And I said, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, listen.
And he said, you're part of your own insular thinking. Like, you're not even open to the idea that it's there. It's like, how is this insular thinking? I am only exposed to the view that I disagree with. And my point isn't that I don't believe that it happened. My point is that I don't believe that it happened in such a scale because the only things that I'm seeing, not going out and looking for it, just in my own news feeds is, oh, you stupid nerd haters, and you don't like that Miss Doctor Who's a woman now. Sexism, man.
Yeah, well,
and then fucking Stephen Moffat comes out and says, didn't happen.
See, that's
80%. I don't know if that's it, but 80% of people that of the outpouring is very, very positive towards the show having a female doctor. Like, go fucking figure.
Man, see, when you showed me that, I was at work and I saw the headline to the article and I was like, because it was like with the quote of "there hasn't been," it just didn't fucking happen. I was like, of course it didn't fucking happen, you idiot. People aren't that fucking bound up over gender anymore. No one gives a shit. No one gives a fucking shit about it. Of course it didn't happen, but everybody's got to have some sort of fucking angle to sell. And now, oh God, they Twitter mined, what was it? You said 30 people out of millions of people that watch this ignorant show?
They exist. I mean, they of course they exist, but how many of them are trolls? Because one of the ones I saw was Jodie Whittaker as the new Doctor. It's called a Time Lord, not a Time Lady. And I was like, I think pretty sure that's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm like 98% sure that's a joke.
So you can, now it's upwards of 29.
It's called Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. I mean, that's the fucking, and that was in one of the articles that I read by the article that I read, not by RNN, about this very same thing. Article starts out, all these quotes from Stephen Moffat. Article ends with, here's all the proof of these quotes of people hating it because of the women. And it's like, you literally wrote an article about how it didn't happen, and then you just trump up a bunch of things like, it's called Time Lord, not Time Lady. Like, that's a fucking joke. You fucking moron, that's a joke.
They were trying to discredit him, but they're using such flimsy shit, and that's the whole point.
And their Twitter comments, no one fucking cares.
Because everybody and their cat has a fucking Twitter. It doesn't fucking matter. So I could if I'm in a mood, if I've had enough whiskey and I'm just in a good enough mood where I feel like fucking with people, I'm going to go and argue against something that I love just because I want to stir the pot. So out of however many,
and the problem is that there's not an alternate backlash, because like with the Ghostbusters, with Star Trek Discovery, there's a backlash for other reasons than the gender, but then they lump all of the negative views, like, oh, this video got downvoted. Like, it got downvoted because the trailer for your fucking movie sucks. The trailer for your TV show sucks.
And it was accurate because the movie was a piece of shit.
And so you're just like, okay, but now all these downvotes equal sexism and in this case, there's none of the downvotes. So they went immediately to sexism, and they're like, the mean comments will follow, and they didn't. And fuck you guys. Anyway,
now they got an army of Twitter monkeys. Everyone, get on your sock puppet accounts. We have to say mean things about this now.
Say mean things about Jodie Whittaker, like anybody who fucking cares. Like anybody fucking cares about Doctor Who.
God.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well. Anyway. This has been the Rick Hayden News Network. Definitely not fake news.
Yeah.